Hi guys, so today we're gonna be making a black cake. It's become a trend. A lot of people who are turning 30, they're saying goodbye to their 20s and they write RIP 20s on the cake. So a lot of people like black cakes, that kind of look. So yeah, that's what we're gonna make. It's a vegan cake. This customer wanted a vegan cake. It's a vegan cookies and cream cake. I'm not surprised at all. It's chocolate cake with cookies and cream frosting, and outside it's gonna be black frosting. So the whole point of this is we're gonna learn how to make black frosting and just see how the look of the cake is. A lot of people want it to be like the vintage cake look, but this customer, they just wanted it simple. So it's a black cake with frosting, like the border on top and the bottom. So we start with the cake turntable, cake board, little dollop of buttercream, frozen cake rounds. It's a 2-layer. You can make it into a 3-layer depending on your customer. So because we want a black cake outside, make sure that the frosting is within the border and it's not going anywhere outside, because we don't want to see any cookies and cream crumbs outside. Outside the whole look is different. So you're gonna smooth that. And then with the second layer. Once this is done, make sure it's nice and okay, this is done. Then it's time to prepare the black buttercream. Maintain a clean surface. Okay. So as we all know, a lot of people they use vanilla buttercream and make black buttercream. You add black color. There are multiple ways. You add black color to it, or you add the dark cocoa powder, and then you get the black buttercream. But we do it differently. We use the chocolate frosting as the base, add color to it so that it's easier to go from brown to black instead of going from white to black. You just need whatever is needed for outside and the borders. Don't forget the borders. It's always amazing to use fresh buttercream. It's nice, soft, smooth and all of that. Then to this you add black color. You can add black cocoa powder, anything that you like. So the black color does affect the flavor of the cake a little bit. So be very careful how much black you're adding. And please try and mention this to the customer as well. Some customers, they just want it for the look of the cake, for pictures and all of that. So depends. Every cake serves a purpose, right? The technique to darken this is either you add more black color or you just let it sit until tomorrow. But vegan frostings, they change texture, especially the vegan chocolate. It changes texture when the chocolate hardens. So I don't want to keep it until tomorrow. I'm just going to add a little more black. But for regular frostings, if you want any color to darken, just let it sit for a day, 24 hours or sometime, and use it the next day so that you have a richer, darker color. That especially works for reds, blacks, because you don't want to keep adding food coloring to the thing. With vegan cakes, you also have to be very careful that you don't keep adding food color, because it tends to split. Vegan frostings are very, very delicate. If you buy the store-bought ones, and they're different, they have like stabilizers and modifiers and all the different preservatives, but we are using our own frosting, so that doesn't have any of that. I think if I add any more, it's gonna split. So once you have the color, then So you're gonna think, what border are you gonna make around the cake? What border does the customer want? And make the bag, prepare the bag with the same tip. I'm gonna go with this closed starter. It's nice and wide for the top and for the bottom. For the bottom, I might use a different one. Yeah, so the multiple ways of darkening a color is that you heat the frosting a little bit. If you heat it, what happens is that, okay, so the frosting, the buttercream has air incorporated in it. Because it has air, it becomes lighter. So the a way to take out that air, to make it darker, is to take out the air. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. I'll make a separate video about the different ways in which you can darken the color. You always have some scissors that never work. Have a lot of them. Okay. So first you gotta prepare the sides like we always do it. Vegan chocolate, anything. So this frosting has real chocolate in it, so it's better to work fast with it, because as you know, chocolate hardens when it gets cold. So the cake is frozen, so we gotta work really fast so that the sides and everything is nice and smooth. The frosting is vegan and gluten free, but once it touches the cake, you can only use this for vegan cakes and not for gluten free cakes. Try and get it smooth in one go, and that's it. Because once it starts hardening, it's not going to be the same. Cake is nice and smooth from everywhere. It's a white base and black frosting, so please be a little more meticulous and make sure that the board is clean. Depends upon you what you're using. You gotta understand what kind of tip you're gonna use for this, keeping in mind the height of the cake and the design of the cake. To the top, okay, same thing goes for this as well. Please make sure that the tip is clean so that you get sharp edges on the frosting. Okay. And close up. Now for the bottom, I feel like doing a different kind of a design. So I'm going to use this tip. This is the petal tip. Okay, now the thick part, the thick part stays inside, the thin part stays outside. Okay, this might be a little too big, but it's fine. Just gently going to go around. Okay. Then we're going to take a smaller tip. On the back. Clean the tip. Okay. Then you start. You wanted a message on it, so the message is going to be embossed. So for the bottom one, we're going to use it without the tip. Okay, so that's in black. Then you're gonna so I put a thicker tip, and this has to be perfect, so you just go over it once, and that's it.
I didn't show you Tracy. I finished the black pepper sour candy. This is the final label. You can see. So when I sell it.
So that's it. This is the cake. It's nice and black. Vegan cake. Everything. No dairy, no eggs, no gelatin.